What is up, you beautiful people? Welcome back. It's time for another This Week in Stacks episode, and I know it's been way more than a week since I last posted one of these. I'm sorry, I've been doing too much. I'm trying to optimize my processes for the new year, working on it, but let's just get into it. There's a ton to cover, starting with there's a stacker chat from Gina and Muneeb, covering Web3 and some of the core differentiators that Stacks offers and brings to the crypto space. It was a good one, and it has a good message going into this next year, 2022, for Stacks. So that one was good. PseudoZach had his Lightning-enabled mint for his Roots collection, which was kind of the first time that we saw like a super native Bitcoin transaction for NFT. Catamaran swaps were interesting, but you couldn't make them like easily accessible like on Stacks NFT or Byzantium, one of the marketplaces. So this just allowed you to point your Lightning wallet at a QR code and get an NFT minted to your wallet. So that was super crazy, and I immediately had to get Zach back on the episode or back on the podcast. Reach out to him. He's always game. Super cool guy. And so I released an episode with him talking about some of the nooks and crannies and the nuances of what he's working on with LNSwap. So if you're curious about the future of native Bitcoin payments and what we might see in the next 6 months in the Lightning and Stack space specifically, I highly recommend watch the episode. Next up, and I'm just going to roll through these because that's what. But Setzeus, which is one of the tech builders on the Bitcoin Badgers team, he put up a great blog post because if you're trying to learn Clarity, if you're in Clarity Universe, there's a ton of things that you have to understand, especially if you're a new coder that just doesn't make sense, or things that seem similar. And so there's two common calls in Clarity that get called a ton, and they are contract caller and transaction sender. And if you just hear those two words on the surface, they may sound like the exact same thing. Like if I'm sending stacks to mine Miami coin, I'm sending stacks to the contract. And so technically I am the contract caller and the transaction sender. But in Clarity, they have some nuances, some differences. And in this blog post, he explains some of those differences, as well as using the incorrect one can lead to pain down the road if you don't use it properly. So highly recommend if you have any interest in the nuances of Clarity, if you're learning it and you want some more color, that blog post is fantastic. All of the things I'm mentioning are going to be down below in the blog post on YouTube or in the show notes on the podcast platform. So yeah, check it out. Next up, Marvin, the incredible Marvin. He's been running the Clarity Universe, building writer, one of the main tech guys at the foundation. He put together something he's calling Executor DAO. And I don't know a ton of the details. I'll link the GitHub page below. But he basically says it's like a modular DAO that has one main core contract, and then you add different smart contracts as proposals, something like that. So it's kind of like a plug and play. You can put this code block in, put that code block in, and you can use different people's code blocks as the kind of like infrastructure builds out. You can go, oh yeah, that's a cool use of that. Take that contract, it's all public, and use it. So pretty interesting. A little above my pay grade, but yeah, if you want to get in the weeds on that, I recommend it. Moving on, Mintery. Mintery is a new program being put on by the foundation. Mitchell and I believe Lewis are heading this up, and it is a accelerator program to get NFTs popping on Stacks. And so what they're doing is they're bringing on about 10 people, I believe, and they're going to give them $15K each to bring their art to Stacks, and they'll give you mentorship in the form of what is blockchain, what is crypto, what is an NFT, as well as some of the technical knowledge. If you want to deploy code, they'll handle some of the back-end stuff, how to build a good community, how to get distribution, like all the pieces required to really excel as a creator or an artist using NFTs. Everything that is going to be help you succeed and go to the top of the echelon, they're going to try and give you all those tools, and as well as some front money so you can focus your time on this collection. So super cool program. I'm super hyped on this one. I have applied for it. I'm going to see if I can do something with one of my artists, doing a music video collection, as well as trying to build a community around his art. So got some cool ideas. That's in the pipeline, but Mintery is super dope. And if you're an artist doing something kind of new and clever on the bleeding edge, you should for sure apply. There's some cool stuff going down. Next, since I last posted a update video, Stacks has turned 1 year old. The mainnet launched on January 14th of 2021, and it is now January 17th of more than a year later. So yeah, a ton. I mean, I got here mid last year. When I joined, there was the Boom wallet, and Cygle was live, Pravica was live, Block Survey, I believe, was live. Like, I could probably name all the applications that were like not deprecated and actually functioning on like two hands. And you could stack, obviously. But since then, the last 6 months have been like blistering speed. Even doing these videos, like I wouldn't have even fathomed to do a This Week in Stacks video 6 months ago, because there just wasn't enough. Like, it would be two things and then, all right, see you next week. But now it's like I'm running out of breath covering all these things because there's just so much going on. So it's been a crazy year. Stacks is now solidified as the #1 developer-focused blockchain on Bitcoin. So I think outside of Bitcoin Core, there's no other Bitcoin-focused blockchain that has as many devs as Stacks does, and that's only going to go more. Like, if you see the people that are starting to become interested and asking questions, if you see what the foundation and the grants program is about to do, they're hiring people as just developer advocates. Like, the amount of firepower that's going into this next year as far as getting people in and building here is it's just absolutely crazy. So the amount of things that I think are going to be launching in the next 12 months is going to be wild compared to this last year. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see just in 1 year how much foundation you can build. So congrats to all the crazy people who've been building for so long, doing R&D work just to get it to this point. For anybody listening, now it's our job to keep it going and go as fast as we can to this new decentralized, user-owned internet, Bitcoin native, like all the buzzwords. You know, when you're in crypto, it's kind of in a bubble, but now our job is to keep building the primitives and then just get it to as many people as possible. So very cool. Next up, Stacks NFT. You know, Jamil originally was the main developer there, and now he's been slowly growing the team. And they have a partnership with Fungible Systems, which is all new, and Jasper. And they have done a complete redesign of the website. The Stacks NFT website, marketplace, your wallet view, it's all been redesigned from the ground up. It's faster, it looks beautiful. Yeah, I can go on, but you just got to go to it. Go to stxnft.com and play around with it if you haven't already. It looks fantastic. So great job, guys. That looks really good. Two more things before I completely lose my voice. Wastelander Apes. For the Stacks 1 year anniversary, Project Indigo, which is a new NFT project that is looking to make, it has these new characters called Wastelanders, and they are involved in this whole storyline and world. So they're really making this NFT game, or this NFT project, interactive, which is very cool. But they launched, and Megapont, which we all know, launched a while back. They did a collab for the 1 year anniversary. So they have these things called Wastelander Apes, or people are calling Wapes. And there was a 10,000 piece collection, all done generatively. Like, they just took pieces of Megapont art, Indigo art, ran through some code, spit out 10,000, and it was free. So you just paid for the transaction cost, the fee, and yeah, you get yourself a WAPE. And the network exploded, as it typically does when Megapont does something. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see. They minted out within a day, and even though they were free, we're already seeing like a sales volume on the secondary market where they're flipping for 20, 30, 40, 50 stacks, which is insane. They did their thing. I think the network is coming back alive now. Very cool to see, especially with this new generative art thing. You can release a S-ton of art very, very quickly by having some of the building blocks. So yeah, that was cool to see. And then last but not least, Alex. Alex is officially on mainnet, which is yeah, it's been a long time coming. So they've been building up to their initial offering with the lottery system. So you buy tickets by participating in the testnet, and then now you'll get initial offering of their Alex token before the program officially goes live. So I think the lottery is tomorrow. They had their mainnet celebration this morning, but yeah, Alex is officially here. So pretty soon we can start tinkering and playing with all the things they've been talking about for months, from borrowing and lending and a launchpad for tokens. So yeah, super excited. As usual, I'm the DeFi dumbass, so I don't know enough about it, so I won't pontificate, but yeah, very cool. So that's it. That's my however many things were on that list. This has been another episode of This Week in Stacks. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.
Welcome to Built on Bitcoin.
I know that things don't always go your way, but I'll be right here waiting. I've been waiting now. I've been trying to figure out a way to make it out. Cause I don't think about everything.